Hi, and welcome to the advanced flexibility routine for your upper body. I'm so glad you're here. These stretches are going to be a catalyst to opening up your body. They're going to help your yoga practice. They're going to help you with poses that you may have thought inaccessible, and it's going to improve your flow in general. You're going to need a stick, a dowel, a broomstick, a Swiffer, something like that. And you may need a block for your knees when we go to do the squatting positions or kneeling positions. Let's get started. Oh, you're also going to need something to put your elbows on. I'm going to use this. You can use a chair, something soft. Maybe you might even want to put a blanket over the chair to cushion your elbows. But the first stretch that we're going to start with is the kneeling, elbows up over. Take your elbows up overhead, draw your rib cage down so your ribs aim straight down. And as you lift up to the armpits and the elbows, reach your buttock down and then side bend to your left with the left foot forward, right knee down. Now maintaining the side bend, turn from your lower belly on the left side up to your right shoulder and then start to turn your nose towards your right elbow. Breathe all the way down. Full exhalations. Come back up and change sides. Now, as I mentioned before, take your elbows up, find the stretch, side bend, and then start to turn. The way that we create more flexibility, we teach the body to really open up, is by holding for time. So just holding a stretch for 30 seconds isn't going to do anything. We need to work up to a minute and a half. So you can go about it two ways. You can just hold for a minute and a half, or you can do repetitions. You can do sets. So that's what we're doing for this first one. Slowly release that. Change sides. Lift up. Now this one's going to be slightly different. When you go to side bend, instead of looking up, look down towards the left outer knee outside of the foot. Come back up, change sides. Grab the other elbow, little butt tuck, ribs in and down. Then find side bend and turn the gaze down. So you feel the stretch a little more on the back side now, hopefully. And then come back up. Now we're going to kneel, so you might need a block, a tall block. Now, if it bothers your knees, remember, you modify. So you can just sit with your knees up. You can stick stuff underneath your butt this way if you can't do a deep knee bend, but otherwise you can support the knees like so. Remember, we're working towards health in the body, so you're not going to do anything that's causing pain. It should feel like a deep stretch, but don't to where you're causing pain. So this is a similar position, so we're getting more time under tension with this position. The arm up overhead with the elbow bent, just slightly different variation. With each exhalation, work the rib cage back to a neutral position, so you're getting true opening of the shoulder instead of borrowing from the TL junction, just bending where the lower back meets the upper back. And change. And release. Now, if your knees are starting to bother you, feet, ankles, etc., just come out and then come back. I've trained to do this for a long time, so modify you need to. Now we're going to go arm across. And then once you take your arm across, dip your chin down and turn your nose towards your stretched out hand. And feel a release on the side of the neck from that stretched out hand side. And you can even let yourself drop towards the shoulder. So these stretches should be good for your neck as well. This should take care of any neck stuff that you need. By working the shoulders, improving the shoulder mobility, and adding these gentle neck stretches, should take care of all that. Come back up and change sides. Arm goes across first. You find the stretch. Lock into that. Then gently tip the chin down. Look towards the hand. You might feel enough stretch that way, or you can let the face start to drop towards the shoulder. Back up. Now I'm also showing this in the high position. You can do it lower, work your way all the way to the ground maybe eventually. Let's do one more time, arm across. This time go for a lower angle. Chin and stretch. Slowly release, change sides. And release that. Now we're going to go with the toes pointed back. So you're secretly getting in some lower body at the same time. It'll be like that when we do the upper body, the lower body series as well. Sneak in a couple upper body things. Now from the kneeling position with the toes pointed back, again, enough stuff underneath your butt. It might be 2 blocks, it might be scaffolding, whatever you got to do. And then from here, we're going to take the right hand behind the back to take the left biceps with the palm turned so that the thumb points out to the side and the fingers back. If that's too much, you can just go fingers to the side. Then from here, drop your face, your left ear over towards your left shoulder. Relax the right side. And then see if you can bring the teeth together. That will increase the stretch there. See if you can feel contact on the left side, especially with the tip of the tongue gently resting against the roof of the mouth just behind the teeth. Lean your face back slightly towards going behind the left shoulder to increase the sensation if you need to. Might not need to. Change sides. Now, after doing this a certain amount of times, you might not need the video anymore. So if you get bored of me saying the same thing every time, you probably will. So ear goes over to the opposite shoulder first. My left hand's behind the back, so I'm dropping my ear to the right shoulder. And then I gently tip my face away. But find the teeth first. That'll increase the stretch. And the tongue action. Try not to let your ribs get thrust forward from the arm behind the back. See if you can maintain neutral. Slow, steady breathing. The breath is the most important part when you're doing these stretches. Remember that. Slow breathing, longer exhalations. And that just puts you into a parasympathetic state so that your body can go towards its maximum movement potential. Slowly release that. Then from there, we're going to walk the hands back behind you. Again, modify. If this doesn't work for your knees, put your feet in front of you. In fact, I'm just going to show that. Well, let me show what it looks like first from the kneeling position, because this is a great stretch for your quads to be able to go into this position. But if you can't do that, you're just going to go feet in front. And eventually you get to that position. The hands go behind you, fingers turned out to the side or all the way back if possible. Get onto an even surface here. And then open up across the collarbones. Open up across the upper chest, still keeping your core connection. And then from here, drop your left ear to your left shoulder and lean the face away. Now you're not letting the head fall, you're increasing the stretch, so reach down your right arm at the same time. Teeth together, tongue to the roof of the mouth. If this doesn't feel much of a stretch, scoot your hips more forward from the seated position. Walk your hands further back from the kneeling position. If it still doesn't feel like much of a stretch, quit bragging. We get it. You got good shoulder flexibility. Bring your head back up and over to the other side. Now remember, this is as much of a neck stretch as it is a shoulder opener, because they're all connected. Neck and shoulder stuff work together. That's why when you do a bunch of shoulder stretches, you feel like, oh wow, my neck feels so much better. So ear goes over to the right shoulder, and then you gently lean the face back, just like in the last set. Slow exhalations. Let all the air out fall at the end of the exhalation. Bring your head back on top. Maui, wowie, that feels so good. Now we're going to come back to the overhead positioning with our prop, chair, etc. and Swiffer stick, dowel, whatever you got. Careful not to wake up Ollie. Okie dokie. So elbows go shoulder distance. Hands work towards shoulder distance. And then you're going to connect to the rib cage to the pelvis with an exhalation. And then slowly lean yourself back away from your elbows. Come back up. And then we're going to go for a second round. In the first round, I just kept the stick more upright. Now I'm going to bring it towards my shoulders, towards my back. Come into the half stretch position. Let the hands start to drop towards the back. And then start to lean back. Don't sink from your middle. Keep your middle in. Don't let the middle sag. Slowly lean the heart towards the ground. And then come back up. So your arms should feel like you got a lot of shoulder flexibility from those stretches. And now we're going to do, so it's good to have the flexibility, but we want to be able to move the body through space with that flexibility, which is your mobility. That's the difference between flexibility and mobility. Okay, so from a seated position, you're really just clonked out there, Ollie. You're going to take your stick. Oh, this one will give me splinters. Let me switch to this one. I don't want to get splinters. Okay. You're going to take your stick or your band or your strap and go up. We should have a stick because we just did the stick thing. Up. And then to take the arms back behind you, you might have to go wider depending on your flexibility. I mean mobility, because we're doing the mobility now. And then take the arms back up and over. So don't force this one. Just feel kind of where the groove is. And notice how I elevate my scapula before I go back behind me. You can kind of pause in this back stretch and feel, oh, get some pec there, stretching out. You can let the shoulder blades start to come together as the arms go back. And then feel at the top position the scapula elevate and spread before you come back down and over. So I just like doing I like doing this for about a minute. You can go faster some days, you can go slower some days, you can do a few fast, then a few slow. Yeah, it's kind of nice to do to just get the movement with speed, I think, because it helps your nervous system to be like, okay, this is what we're doing, if you've never done it before. And then you can kind of hang into it. Yeah, I think that works best. Just making this up as we go along here. Okay, good. Feel free to play around with that longer if you like. Now the last movement that we're going to do is Urdhva Dhanurasana, or upward bow. Now, if you don't have access to the full upward bow, I'm just going to show what I can do without anything at this moment. I didn't work on upward bow for a long time because I had a surfing injury, and I've gotten back to working on it over the last 2.5 months. So let's see. Yeah, it's not great compared to what I used to be able to do, but no judgment. Remember, we don't want to judge ourselves. Just want to be where it can be. And you can do repetitions from here, going up and down 8 times. Now, if you're really struggling with that, I'm going to show you what I've been doing to help with the flexibility. You need a Swiss ball for this, or you can back bend over a couch, chair. You can kind of use your imagination. You can set up props. But this is just what I've been doing, so I wanted to show you. So I feel like this has helped me quite a bit because it's teaching my body the shape again. And then you can work elbows bending and straightening from here. Okay, now the final version. Oh, you're gonna have to move for this, I'm sorry. Final modified version. Watch your little head, okay? You can set up and use blocks against the wall. Watch your nose, okay? You really crashed out. Did you take an edible before this? What's going on? And I've showed this in the back bend class. Here we go. I got the blocks against the wall here. The heel of the hand hooks onto the edge of the block. Lift up onto the head. Take a breath. Relax the neck, engage the glutes, and go up. It's a little bit better. Can go up and down a few times. And then relax. All right, so that's your upper body routine. If you want to add in a little twist at the end after the Urdhva-dhanurasana, you could twist if you want to. Just open up like so. I like to twist just for the spine's sake. And you can get one more bonus shoulder stretch here. Holding the arm not straight overhead, not straight out to the side, but kind of at an angle. And that will help to get the pec minor to open. Release and change sides. Again, the arm's not straight overhead, not out to the side, but right in between, and that should get the fibers of the pec minor better. And release that. And then you can do the arm straight out to the side. and then change sides. And release. So I'll keep you posted with my progress, how my Urdhva Dhanurasana goes. It's been actually years since I've even tried that pose. And I'm a little embarrassed to say because I'm always encouraging you guys to stick with the practice, to keep the, but I'd gotten into so much fear as a result of that injury that I just was like, I'm never going to try to bend my body like that again. Before the message, my own message really started to come back to me. And so now I'm working on it again. And I'll keep that journey with you guys, but maybe that will help you if you're afraid of something. Keep moving, keep it going. You can get back to doing, or you can get to do these poses no matter what's going on with your body, as long as you build mindfully with awareness that you're not pushing or jamming. Work it slowly, it'll slowly come back. Thanks so much. Namaste.